Welcome to Elio Motors Shreveport operations. We're going to take you through a tour of the facility, showing you the equipment and the reusable assets that are here that have been left behind. There's two primary buildings on this site, Building A, or General Assembly, which I'm standing in the middle of right now, and Building B, which is the body shop, which will have the welding, the painting, and the coating of the metal body. We're now standing in Building B body shop. What you're looking at now is a piece of equipment that we can reuse that we've left. It's an overhead skid conveyance system that can be used to move the body inside the body shop, and then ultimately we'll take the completed painted body from here over to Building A General Assembly. It's overhead, so it saves floor space, and you can see the elevators that will bring the skids up and down. You'll notice also that the building is empty. The welding robot cells that were here have been cleared out to free up room to put in the Elio body shop, the Elio paint shop, and the Elio metal coating. This is another area of the body shop that's been cleared out. What you're looking at now is welding and material handling robots that were in the robot cells. These robots, some will be used by Elio, the rest of them will be sold off. Start of the process for the General Assembly building. Coming down the elevator, on the skillet, completed metal body, painted and ready to go. And you can see this is what you'd be looking at if you were the vehicle. This is where I'm starting to get parts put on me and get built to be a completed Elio. These carriers, or skillets, will be modified. Currently they're designed to handle a pickup, but soon they'll be modified to handle the three-wheel Elio. We're at the start of the operations. This is a typical operator workstation. I need to have things, I need to be able to hang tools, I need to be able to work on the job, I need to have all the things that help me build the best vehicle I can. This is the skillet that comes past me. I work on one skillet, and when I finish my job, I go to the next skillet. Skillets are programmable. They can be raised and lowered depending upon how tall I am or where I'm working on the vehicle. Am I working on the top of the vehicle or the bottom of the vehicle? And as each operation, it's programmable. So as the skillet goes down the line, it may be going up or it may be going down depending upon what's needed. Let's say I have a problem. I have to be able to communicate that problem to the people around me. Typically, I may have a team of 5 or 6 people around me, and for each of our team, we're going to have a team leader. The team leader needs to know when his team is in trouble. We have an and-on system. You can see the lights and the yellow cords, and we also have message boards that go with it. If something's wrong, the operator can pull this cord, and when the cord goes off, music for that particular team goes off, so I know something's wrong with that team. If I don't pull the cord again, the carriers will keep moving until they get to these orange marks. It will then stop. The music will keep playing, but now, until I fix the problem, it won't release. If the problem is good, I'll pull this cord, and the skillets will keep going down the line. We're back on trim leg 1, showing how the Elio fits into the existing systems we have. We have an evaluation aid that shows roughly how an Elio would sit on the existing skillets. Remember, these skillets can go up and down up to almost 4 feet. At this point, the metal body will have also this cradle with it, and the door will be on. We're going to take the door off, and we're going to take the cradle off, and we're going to put them on these sub-assembly conveyors here. You can see in the background the actual sub-assembly line these go to. Door will come off, the cradle will come off, they will go over there, and they will have the components put on: glass, door pads, suspension, knuckle hubs, control arms. Then this completed cradle will come back over here, and later down the line, off of these carriers, we will pick it off and put it back on to the Elio. We'll use assist devices like this, modified for the specific components that they're going to pick up and move. We're now further down trim leg 1 to show one of the neat pieces of equipment that Elio can reuse. Wire harness will come into the plant. On a cold day, they would be stiff and difficult to handle. To solve the problem, they would be put into this dolly, which can then be put into this oven. So it looks kind of like a pizza oven. Its purpose was to warm up the wire harnesses so they were more easy to manage. An operator could then come in, pick up the wire harness, and it would now be easier to unfold, reducing the ergonomic stress on the operator and also allowing a better quality product to be put on the vehicle. Elio's wire harnesses will be coming in from up north, and so there'll be a lot of times they'll be stiff and difficult to handle. This is another example of a piece of equipment that we'll be able to reutilize to help Elio build a good quality vehicle. We're coming to the end of trim leg 1. The skillet with the vehicle would go up over the line and cross over, keeping the aisles open and also providing a buffer area that's upstairs. We're now going to start down trim leg 2, just a continuation. It comes down the elevator, and we continue doing interior trim components, trim panel pieces, seats, carpet, wire harnesses, also other things that go into the engine compartment. You can also see on the assembly line the lighting systems, the rail supports, the and-on support system, the messaging, the address signs are all still here. Even some tooling is still left. If it's not where it needs to be, it can be easily moved to the operation that Elio needs it to be at. We're coming to the end of trim leg 2 now. It's going to go again up an elevator, cross over the line above us, allows us to drive through and not have dead-ended aisles. And now we're going to come down the elevator and start trim leg 3. Trim leg 3 will be a continuation, more interior trim components, and now we will start to put on some of the exterior components. Painted panels, and as we get to the end of trim leg 3, which is coming up, we will decouple from the main skillet line so we can set up a stop station to allow robots to pick up glass, put urethane on, and then load the glass to the vehicle. We also have maintenance and spare parts for the glass cell areas. We're now at the end of trim leg 3 to show some of the maintenance areas. This equipment, the drills, the mills, the lace, we're all already programmed and set to support the equipment that's here at the plant. So the fixturing and the jigs are here. We can reuse this to keep the Elio equipment up and running. Not only that, but things like cranes, instead of having to mount them, they're already here. We know they work because they've been in operation. We also have spare parts, and we have spare supplies and materials for the equipment and the tools that were here to keep everything up and running. Coming down trim leg 4, we would complete the rest of trim. On this line, we would be putting exterior panels on and some of the last of the interior components, seats, steering wheel, and the last of trim to button up the interior. We're now next to trim leg 4 in the main receiving dock. You can see the dock doors that we have here. This is to receive incoming parts that will be used to put together the Elio. These parts will then be organized for where they need to go to in the plant. As you can see, there's lots of trailers or dollies that we have left behind. These can be used to sequence parts and to put the parts in the individual slots, easy for the operator to pick up, and also to move around the plant so the parts don't get damaged or ruined. Lots of different shapes and sizes that'll help us fit almost any function that we can think of. We're coming to the end of trim leg 4. At this stage, you would see a nearly completed vehicle in terms of interior and exterior panels, interior components. It would go up the elevator, and upstairs it would actually transfer off of the skillet system onto an electrified monorail that would take it over to the final line carrier system. Before we get there, we're going to go down what was a door assembly line designed to sub-assemble 4 doors. Elio only has 1 door. So not only will we do our 1 door on this line, but we will do our chassis cradle sub-assembly. We will take the cradle and we will assemble components like shocks, lower control arms, knuckles, hubs, and do this on a sub-assembly line, making it more ergonomically feasible and also more efficient. On the second door line, we would complete any of the door and chassis components. And then at the end of this line, we would actually take the door off the line, put it to trailers so we could transport it over to final line. The cradle would stay with the carrier, would go upstairs, and back on trim leg 1, a completed cradle would be put back on the assembly line. Now we're going to start our journey down final line. We're now at the start of the final line. The next 2 legs will complete the build of the vehicle. We've sub-assembled the doors and we've tugged them over here on a dolly. We're going to take them off the dolly and we'll put them on the vehicle here. From here, the interior trim is mostly complete with the exception of the last few items. We also have in this area some of the other assets that we can reuse. We have assist aids that help the operators be more productive and more ergonomic. We also have lift devices that can lift dollies or lift large part containers, bringing them to the operator's level, helping them work the best and also keeping them safe. We moved further down final line to show you another piece of equipment that Elio can use. This is a seat load hoist. It's very versatile, and as you can see, we've already loaded the seat to our mock-up with it. As we come down the carriers, you notice they're a little bit different than the trim carriers. That's so that we can put the wheels on and also finish out components. In this, we just passed where the door would have been put on, and now we're finishing up the front side of it. Front fenders, fascia, headlights. Then we would go into a fluid fill system. We're now at the fluid fill area. The vehicle would come in on the carrier and the end effector would be attached by the operator to the appropriate reservoir. It would be filled and then automatically kick off, freeing the operator to do other tasks. The pumping systems and all the safety systems associated with it are here and need to be simply reactivated. As we come back down the last leg of the chain for final line, we will put tires and wheels on and any components associated with that to button that up. The wheel flaring would also go on here. Again, at the end of the final line, we transfer across the line upstairs, and then we're going to come down the last leg of final to complete the vehicle. At this point, we want to put fuel in the vehicle, so we have a fuel fill system. This is the fuel fill system. The ventilation, the fuel fill necks, the control pumps, and the safety systems that all ensure that this operates safely are here. They've been tried and tested. All Elio needs to do is turn them on and start using them. And now we're going to get ready to take the vehicle off of the final line conveyor system and drop it down on its wheels. One of the challenges of a 3-wheel vehicle and a plant designed for a 4-wheel vehicle is this right here. How do I get this 3rd wheel onto the flat ground? This will be one of the challenges we have, but one that we can definitely overcome. The vehicle will be started up, the electrical systems will be tested. We'll do final inspections to make sure all the components are in place and that the vehicle meets the quality standards for Elio Motors. Now that it's completely assembled, the vehicle will be driven off the end of the line, and now we're going to go through our final check and verification systems. The vehicle is completely assembled. Now it's going through its final verification stages. One of those is dynamic vehicle or roll test boost behind me. The vehicle will go into the booth, roll up to a certain speed. The engine and exhaust components are all tested to make sure they work. Also included with these boosts are the overhead exhaust systems to take the vehicle exhaust out of the building to keep the environment clean. We're inside a paint repair booth. Should an Elio need to be touched up or repaired, it would come in here, get in paint, and then move on to those infrared ovens where the paint will be set to meet customer expectations. The vehicle is completed, and every now and then something goes wrong. We need to have a repair area. This is the repair area. Lots of stalls, the equipment that goes with them, the exhaust ducting, the lifts, the tooling, and the specialized equipment that's needed. They're here, but hopefully we won't need them too much. We're now at the final destination for the Elio. This is the final inspection line. Elios will roll down here. Elio employees will make sure that all the paperwork and everything is correct to ship out to customers. We'll drive out that door, we'll be loaded on trucks, and sent to the marshaling yards, which will take it to the eventual store for customers to pick up. I hope this tour showed you all the wonders at this facility, the equipment, the systems here that are in place that Elio can use to make the best vehicle possible. Soon, Elios will be rolling down this line headed to customers.